Should I have lightning rods installed on my house? Does a metal roof attract lightning more than other roof types? Or is this even something I should be concerned about here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania? Okay, here I am. Weird. There's a fundamental misunderstanding about metal roofing and lightning. The common fear is that because metal conducts electricity, a metal roof attracts lightning more than other roof types. But this is incorrect, and it's basically because lightning is static discharge seeking the path of least resistance to the ground. It will strike whatever object makes that connection the quickest. Usually that's the tallest object within the strike area, regardless of whether that object is metal, wood, or some other kind of material. Now, metal roofing on a building is only a part of that connection. Metal is attached to the house, which is attached to the ground. So if lightning is going to strike a house, it's doing so not because of the roof materials, but because that's the best object in the area to discharge the energy through. Now, theoretically, a metal roof would actually probably be safer than an asphalt or wood roof in a lightning strike because it would at least dissipate the energy over the entire roof system because it's a good conductor. Whereas asphalt or wood is not so good of a conductor, and that would simply absorb all the energy and combust. However, in reality, a lightning strike is so powerful that it will likely burn a hole through the thin metal sheet anyway, but a metal roof would probably be less likely to cause a fire. Now, this brings us to lightning protection systems, or lightning rods. Now, I have here a long bolt. It's not actually a lightning rod, but it's roughly the same dimensions as a lightning rod. I've installed them on roofs and taken them off of others, and I used to wonder, how can this small 16-inch piece of metal sticking off the roof really handle millions of volts of electricity without being instantly melted? Well, it comes down to conductivity. The rod isn't designed to necessarily absorb the heat. It is designed to provide a path of zero resistance for the lightning. So because the copper rod and the wire system attached to it is a more efficient conductor than the structure of itself, than the house itself for the electricity to go through, the lightning bypasses the house and goes right through the rod, through the wire, and down into the ground, where there's usually a 6 or even 10-foot long pole that's pounded all the way into the ground to then dissipate that energy into the earth. Now, because the electricity flows so fast, literal milliseconds, thermal lag prevents the rod from melting. The rod and cable literally do not have enough time to melt. Before the strike is over, the charge just passes through them as the fastest and easiest way to the ground. Is a lightning protection system necessary for your house? You need to assess 3 factors. The biggest is topography. Is your building on a bare hill? Or is your house the highest point in the immediate landscape? No tall trees or other taller objects nearby. If so, then you might want to consider getting a lightning rod system installed. Think also about flash density. Do you live in a high strike region like Florida or Houston, Texas, or the Midwest? But even here in Lancaster, we do get a fair share of summer thunderstorms, but data actually shows that we get up to 5 strikes per square mile even here in Lancaster, much less than the 20 or so per square mile like we get in some places in Florida. So, in summary, lightning seeks the best connection to the ground, and that's usually the tallest object in the strike area, regardless of what the object is composed of. A metal roof doesn't make your house more attractive to lightning. In fact, it would probably perform better in a strike than other roof materials. And lightning rods are an effective way to save your house in the event of a lightning strike. Not a guarantee, but definitely a better chance.